We're gonna check out what's happening with Mr. Johnny Somali from Mr. Legal Mindset. Let's get into it.
Johnny Somali could be jailed for life. Today on this update on the Johnny Somali, aka Ramsey Khalid
Whoa,
Ismail
jailed
case, we're
for
going to talk about
life.
a potential path, a potential future where Johnny
Oh,
Somali might be facing life in prison, and that is
interesting.
not hyperbole. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire,
Wait, what did he
American
do this
attorney, and
time?
this is Legal Minds, where we teach you to be your own judge. And this is one that I spent a last 2 weeks kind of vetting, going over. I moved the topic for the stream that's adjacent to this. And of course, this is a fast version, facts version. If you like the brief and dirty, quick version of the latest in legal news, make sure you smash the like button and leave a comment below. But in the live, we'll go into further details and have extra stuff. So if you want to go and check that out as well. But when I saw this come across my desk, I went out, asked the lawyers in Korea, asked people knowledgeable in this. And when I found out there's a real possibility, I needed to bring this to your attention. Now, I typically am only focusing on legal stuff, but this is a legal silver bullet that could hit Johnny Somali if he plays his cards wrong. So let's just jump right into it today with this. Of course, I have a PP. I got a PowerPoint here for you today. So as
Oh,
a
the
quick update
PP,
on what's
the
coming next,
legendary
because
PP.
some people keep asking me wherever I go, when's the next trial? When's the next trial? October 29th, 2025. Now, that trial will focus on 3 witnesses. We know one of them is Bong Bong. We know another is Young Man. And the last, we are pretty sure, is Hank Yu. Yes, that's right, Hank Yu. And he'll be called as a prosecution witness. In America, you sometimes call this a hostile witness. So you're bringing that person up mostly to validate evidence or validate their presence, saying, hey, is that you in this photo? Is that you in this video? So that is possible to come up in the next trial. And then you would have, of course, cross-examination. You'd have a redirect or re-examination. We also found out that Dalgoon is not testifying. So we wanted to correct that because previously we thought it was going to be Dalgoon, but actually it looks like it's going to be Hank. So that's what we got on
Ah,
October 29th. This is going to be a big day because remember,
wait, why is
every
Hank
single
testifying?
trial that we've had coming up over the past year for Johnny
Oh,
Somali,
probably because
right before
he's
the trial, right
right.
before,
Hank
whether
is a
it's
witness
2 or
for
3 weeks, maybe even
Johnny
1 week,
Somali,
he's been hit with a new charge.
Mr.
And
Ramsey.
this has been very consistent. And all the time, especially the pro-Somali simps will say, oh, it's not going to happen. Legal Mindset's making it up. Legal Mindset's making it up. Every single time we're proven right. Now, this time it is a strong inkling, but the road really depends on what Johnny Somali does. So, and also depends on some world events. So we'll get into that today. So right now, just so you know, this is the current status. He's got 4 obstruction of business, all of which he's pled guilty to.
Yeah.
2
Oh,
minor
yeah.
offenses
Yeah,
act,
he's
both of which
pled.
he pled guilty
Yeah.
to.
By the way, he's pled guilty to all of this, so he's gonna get slapped with some time. He can't fight these, right? So he's definitely gonna get some time. And then with the stuff where he says, "Oh, he's pleading not guilty to." Obviously, he has to provide evidence for why he's not guilty for those. Yep. Here he goes. We'll
He's
see what
pending the
happens.
deepfakes. Really, this is about the deepfakes. And he's facing currently 12 years max
Basically,
under
when
the
you
guidelines.
plead
Now, mind you,
guilty, you're
as these
basically
additional
defaulting
counts
yourself.
pile on, if he was to get another count of obstruction, etc., it doesn't change the maximum, but it does push the minimum up, closer to the max. So yes, additional counts, yes, they don't increase the max, but they increase the likely sentence. So his likely sentence keeps going up and up and up under the Korean sentencing guidelines. Currently, it's at 12, but we're going to talk
Give
about
him
how
the
they make it
cabbage farm.
so this is the
I think
Somali
either way, he's
cycle.
gonna
We've
get the
talked
cabbage
about this.
farm
If
no
you're a
matter
fan
what.
of watching the Ramsey Khalid Ismail trial, you know about this, but it's important to kind of refresh your memory. So what used to happen with Johnny Somali is he would act out, rage would ensue, nobody would cover it, and the heat would die down. He'd escape and then go do it again. He'd be released out of the country,
Yeah,
etc.
basically, he
Well,
would
as
repeat
we've been
offend
covering it,
constantly.
we've been seeing him act out, rage ensues. We cover it, it goes viral, and the pressure on him increases. Now, I have said, and I do
I
commit
mean,
myself to
obviously
this,
they're
that I
petty
focus on the
repeat
legal
offenses,
parts
but
of
they're
this,
still
not
repeat
drama,
offenses,
not
right?
other stuff, not Discord stuff. No, none of that.
Well, I mean,
I'm focusing on the law, and today we're going to talk
I don't
about
know
the
if he's
law.
been
But
repeating
what's
it
very
ever since
important
he's
here is that
gone
we
through
are at the
these
part in the cycle
hearings.
where he is very close
Because
to acting
I
out, and there are a
I
bunch
have
of
checked
signals
out of
that
his
show
shenanigans.
he's getting that itch.
Haven't
It's
seen
been
any.
months. since
I
his
haven't seen
last
him do
incident,
any
and he
more
just
shenanigans where
can't
the
control
cops are
himself, and he's
coming
been
to
sending
fucking
some
get him.
signals that he wants some attention, that he might be acting out again, and I feel that could even happen before the next trial, and that would be a massive,
Yeah,
massive
honestly, I'm
error.
just
We're going to
waiting
talk
for his
about that
next
today.
court trial.
So what are some of the factors here? Well, one of the big factors, this one ties into geopolitical events, is this immigration raid against Korean workers in Georgia. Now, why would that affect Korea? Why would that affect Johnny Somali? Let me explain this to you. So
Oh,
these
the
South
Hyundai,
Korean
yeah.
workers in Georgia were subject to an ICE raid. And what happened with them is they were operating and working under impermissible visas. So
Correct.
in case you guys don't, it's a little bit
That's what
complicated,
the
but people who
government
live abroad
says.
like me and other folks know this very, very well. When you are somewhere, you need to make sure you are working under the right visa and doing the
Yes.
right type of work that you are authorized to do. So, for example, if you are
Yes, each
authorized to
visa
teach
has like their
English, you cannot go be a
different
car mechanic. You are not
stipulations you need
authorized
to
to do that.
look
That's
for.
beyond the scope of your authorization. Now, some work authorizations are very broad, some are more limited, like, for example, just to teaching. Others might give you more free range. And some of them, for example, say, hey, you can work remotely and do pretty much anything. So, hey, that's cool, whatever, right? And this was such a bad incident that the U.S. diplomat to Korea had to express regret over that raid, because what happens in these instances is it's tit for tat. Korea will now look, hey, how can we crack down on Americans to get back at America? Or
I
not
mean,
even
yeah,
saying
that's a
get back. That
possibility.
sounds too revengeful. It's just, hey, okay, if you're going to be strict on your visas, we're going to do that too. It's equal fair treatment, right? Fair play. If
Correct.
you're going to crack down on Korean workers that were working under either tourist visas,
Right, that
or
means
other
they
visas
will
which didn't really authorize
renegotiate
them
the
to work,
visa stuff.
hey, we're going to look at Americans in Korea and say, hey, how can we crack down on them? And that would be very, very easy to do. Why? Because many Americans are working in Korea either without a work visa or earning under the wrong visa. And the most likely target, the one that people have to worry about for, and I know, by the way, a lot of you watching the Somali coverage are international school. Maybe you're international school students, international school teachers. Guys, pay attention, because this is something you guys really, really, really want to know. So what I would imagine is
as of right
this would
now,
be
I'm
the low-hanging
technically
fruit.
just
Everybody knows
a
there's a bunch of teachers in
university
Korea. That's one
student
of the biggest professions for foreigners, particularly
under
Americans.
the,
So the easiest thing would be to look at
I
teachers,
guess you could say
especially
work
international
umbrella
school teachers,
or
and say,
job
hey, are they
umbrella
teaching non-permitted subjects?
as of right now.
What does this mean?
Because
What
I
this
don't have a
means
job
is
right now.
these teachers are only permitted to teach English. They're only supposed to teach English. However, some of them are doing stuff like teaching math. Maybe they're teaching, medieval swordsmanship. Maybe they're teaching some extracurricular, some other thing, history, etc. They're not authorized to do that. They're doing something beyond what they should be doing. So if Korean immigration really wanted to look hard, they would go into the school.
Yeah, I'm guessing on their paperwork, they're supposed to identify what kind of teacher they are, whether they're a math teacher, English teacher, whatever, right? And if they're teaching what they're not what they have not identified as on their government papers, then that's suspicious as hell, right?
Just going to international schools, going to others, and go knock on
yeah,
those
you're
doors and say, hey,
lying.
look,
You're
not
right. You're
teaching what
lying
you should be
under
teaching. They just
government
do a
paper,
check,
right?
do a
That's
random
perjury
check of the
in a
schools,
sense.
and that would be a big problem, because there are a lot of people doing that. And by the way,
Because then if you're
this is a
lying
very
on your
common practice. It's
documentation
not a
like
bad
that,
thing
what else are
necessarily
you
on the
lying?
student,
Right? What else are you
teachers
lying
themselves.
about?
Sometimes they're told by the schools
Like,
to
are you
do
trying
it,
to do
and the
some
schools
weird
like
shady
turn a
shit in
blind
the
eye.
country
They
since
know
you're
that they're
lying
bending
like
the
that,
rules,
right?
right? These things happen. But Korea could look at this and say, hey, that's the same thing you did to us in Georgia. We're going to do this over to you here in Seoul, in Busan, in Suwon, and that would be very, very bad. But what they could do instead, and, I know that people who are, in the Korean system, in the Korean government, in the Korean influencers, they watch my channel. I know these videos are going to get the word out there. I know people are going to spread this. What they could do is crack down on streamers instead. Right? Nuisance streamers are a huge problem. And if you really want to go tit for tat and you want to make, do something that'll matter,
basically they can go for the small fry in a sense, right?
Nomad visa or on some sort of
people
other,
easily
other visa that allows
who
for
they know
remote work. You could do that.
might have
and obviously, if you did that, who would be a clear
misinformed
target?
them on their
He's been
paperwork.
streaming. He's been making money. He's
Intentionally,
still, in
possibly.
certain ways, profiting off of social media and off social media exposure.
Correct.
So obviously, go after him. Now, what would that be? Likely a fine. Maybe there could be a charge there. Immigration works separately from the criminal process. And it often,
Moist Critical, when he was
much.
bringing
Kind of
his esport team over to America,
we'll do
right?
The border, but not yet.
It,
but
it
they might
sounded
feel
like
like they
they
need to do
couldn't,
something
they
to
didn't get the
show,
correct
hey, we're
visa
doing
or
something in
something, right?
response to what happened in
So
America.
that's why they
So if
couldn't
they wanted to do that, obviously
bring
they could
those
hit
guys
Somalia was
over.
fine. That's one thing, right? But there's another, and there's a life in prison
Because
option, and it's
because
not
the
for
I guess the
immigration.
visa that
But
they
before I get to
needed in
this, make sure you hit the
particular
like
was
button,
some sort of
guys,
work
and like
visa,
the
right?
video. I put a lot of work into these and this PowerPoint
Because they
today.
were
This
technically
research took
going
a
into
very,
work.
very long time. So just let me know you appreciate it through a like. It's free. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know the whole
We may
circumstance with
we may or may not have
Charlie's
cabbage birds today.
situation. It was
Anyways,
right.
life in prison may happen under the Youth
It's hard
Sexual
to
Protection
get
Act. So
streamers
let me tell you about this act. It
full
protects children and
cooperation on the
adolescents. This means
information because
any
you know
child or
how
youth that define it as
they
under
are. They
19
may
years
like
old.
to
And I
exaggerate.
know it's different from America. America's 18, right? There's different rules. But under this act, it is 19 years old. There are numerous crimes against youth and children that are included within this parameter, within the parameters of this. And one important thing is it defines youth and child sexual exploitation material in such a way that could include the Statue of Peace. That's right, the Statue of Peace. That is the depiction of a young girl that is 14 years old. We're going to go over, we'll get to that. And that's included.
Oh,
Let's
are
read
you
this
talking
statute
about
in this article. Under
the
Section 5,
wait
it says
the
child and youth
statue
sexual exploitation material
the
refers
women
to
icons
material
around South
depicting a
Korea?
child or youth or a person or representation that can be clearly recognized as a child or youth performing any of the acts listed in each subparagraph.
Right, you know
Article
those
4,
the
or performing any sexual
statues
act
of
in the form of
the
film, video game, image, or video through a computer. So
of the
what this
women
means is
uh,
the statue is
for
a
those a
representation
memorial to
of a
those
child.
women during the
So
war.
if Johnny
right?
Somali goes out there throwing baby oil on it, right?
Because
Doing a
some
Diddy
fucked
dance,
up
calling
shit
it a Diddy
happened,
party, right? And escalating. Once again, he moved from kissing to grinding to dancing. If he goes out there and simulates a sexual act on this statue, which would be the clear escalation, and based on his latest post, it seems like he even intends to
well, I
do
mean,
this
you're
to go out and escalate
right, you're
once again against the statue.
defacing, right?
That's a representation of a
Desecrating
child.
almost, in a sense.
And that is something that would get you, and let's read this carefully here. I'll even make it bigger for you guys.
I mean,
Any
especially the
person
way he was
who
doing it
produces,
too. So
imports,
it's
or
like,
exports
I
child,
mean,
youth,
dude,
sexual exploitation
well,
materials
if
shall
the
be punished
government
by
wants to come
imprisonment
down on your
for
fucking neck, they're gonna
life,
come down on your
or
neck.
for a term of not less than 5 years. Not less than 5 years, guys. Up to life. No joke here, no exaggeration. Let's talk about this. Now, the Statue of Peace clearly represents a comfort woman who was sold into slavery by the Japanese military, and it depicts a young teenage girl. They chose to depict a 15-year-old girl to represent the victims at the time they were taken. This is a person under 19, fits the definition of the statue. At this point, there is no excuse for Johnny Somali. He knows what this represents. He said he knows what this represents. We're in the middle of the trial, so he can't deny knowledge. He's been told multiple times. He's facing crimes right now. Like
yeah,
crimes,
not only
right?
is he facing multiple crimes,
so
but he keeps during the time he was like stacking it up too.
Of what that represents.
And then he pled
There's
guilty
no
on like most
it.
of the
There's no
counts except for
pretending. He's
the
been
right
on the record. He's been
the
questioned
deep
about this.
fakes.
There's multiple
I mean,
comments.
even
He knows it
the
depicts a
deep
child.
fakes.
So if he goes
he's
out
still
there
fucked.
and does that,
right?
that would fit the definition under the statute. Now, because he knows this and he's threatened to go back, he has been reposting videos about the statue. This is why I decided to bring this up. This is why it's in my live is entitled "Don't Do It, Somali."
So he's been bringing it back up.
He's thinking about going to that statue for
fucking
clout.
idiot.
And the news cycle is
He's gonna get
to where
smacked
he
up
would
again.
act out of attention, whether for clout or boredom, whatever, right? And you can see here. Now, I would encourage none of you to go to his social media. Do not feed the troll. I just clipped out what is important for you. So you guys do not have to go here. Do not feed him. Do not give him views. Do not do any of that. But you see what he's posting here. I asked Korean girls what they think of the comfort statue.
Oh, so he keeps
at the Statue of Peace in Itaewon, right? So he's clearly, and he's reposting these. These are videos.
Yeah, so he's reposting his old videos
in the past week or two. So what this symbolizes is he is thinking about that statue. He's thinking real hard about that statue and what he can do for attention, what he can do for clout, what he can do to get back on the map, to kind of get going, and get everybody's
he wants to
attention
try
again.
it.
This is
he wants that.
he
wants that
thinking
money
about because he is choosing to repost these specific
I mean, I don't
videos.
think he's gonna get money, but he wants that money.
Very, 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 very problematic.
If anything,
Now,
he's gonna get the
if he
fucking
goes
law
to
on
the
his
statute and
ass.
escalates his behavior, particularly simulating a sexual act, the prosecutors or judge could
Right, he's
add
not
this
even in
charge. Now,
America.
to be very fair,
Either,
this is a
right? So it's
creative and
even
new charge,
worse
but it
for,
is possible. So
right?
what I'm
It's even
saying
worse
is,
for
when I
him.
spoke
So
to
it's like I
Korean
don't know why he
lawyers,
keeps pushing
to the
it.
lawyers in Korea, to people with knowledge of the criminal system, they were like,
Right,
"Wow,
he's
this is a
Johnny
possibility."
Somali just
However, it's
sounds like right.
creative.
He sounds like a
He wouldn't
Hassan, a
be the first, certainly the first
nonconformist.
foreigner charged with it, but it's
Right,
possible.
he's willing
The
to
way the
go
statute reads,
against
it's possible. It's
the
possible. And
basically
if
the
you push
law,
the judge
even if it
and you
means like
show and you're pushing Korea, you're pushing
shooting him
them
in,
at a point in which
shooting himself in the
you really
fucking
shouldn't be
foot.
pushing. A point at which, hey, if you just went another way, you went another path, and we'll talk about
I
that
mean, if
today.
you that's
There's
what you
another
want to
path
do,
for
that's
Johnny
what
to
you
go
want to
down.
do, man.
If you went that other path, it would be one
no one's
thing. But if
stopping
go
you.
down
I
this
mean,
path, you go down this
well, I
bad
mean, I
path,
guess the
you're
law
looking
is
at
going to
up to
stop
life
you
or
if you
5
do
years.
something
And before I
that
get
they
to that,
don't like,
let's just talk about
right?
this. And
Oh yeah,
I
that's
was
on
thinking
you,
about the
buddy.
good and the bad path, in light of the Charlie Kirk incident. Obviously very, very unfortunate. But I was watching some of the clips from his funeral, and I was inspired, especially by Erica Kirk, to say, even for Johnny Somali, let's give him one last chance to choose the good path or the bad path,
No,
right?
I
Because
think he
everyone has a
just
choice.
give him the
And
Cabbage Patch
maybe
already.
Johnny even has one good person that's still speaking to him.
I think he
Maybe
just
has
needs the
one good
Cabbage
person in
Patch
his life.
already.
I don't know
That'll
who
give
that
him
is. I don't
some
know who
good
it is.
hard lessons.
Maybe he has one good
right?
person that can still talk to him and say,
It'll
Ramsey,
be a good lesson for him.
save yourself. And this is my
Cabbage
honest
Patch is a good lesson for
opinion
him.
here, is his chance to save himself or to doom himself really comes down to, does he end up, is he gonna end up doing this, acting out, doing something else? Because if he chooses to do this, he is going down a dark and bad path. A very dark and bad
Well, I
path.
mean, he's
And we all
already
have to choose
the right
between light
stacked
and
up his
darkness. And
counts
this
so
is his
many
time,
times.
Ramsey, to choose the light
I mean, if
path.
he wants
And
to
what is
keep
the light
stacking
path?
it
The
up,
light
I mean, he
path here
can, right?
is you're better off changing,
Nothing's
pleading
stopping
guilty,
him
admitting
unless
fault,
right.
sincerely atone, no fake
Unless the government's
apologies,
gonna
no fake
see
stuff,
that
no
and be like,
sarcasm,
okay,
nothing else,
well, looks like
and
you're
back
getting
it up by
another
actions.
count.
And I
Right?
know, we all know that it's really hard to
Like,
go down this
that's
path,
on him.
especially for a person like him, especially
He
for a
chose his
person who
path.
said the hardest thing. This is a Somali quote. He said the hardest thing for him is
He
to apologize.
chose
Well, guess
he
what?
chose
That's
the
what
way of
needs-
getting
that's
dicked
what
by
needs
the
to
law.
happen for you
That's
to
what he
choose
loves
that path.
doing.
And even
He
if it
loves
takes
getting
destroying your old
he loves
personas,
getting the
destroying your old
stick by the
characters,
law.
and creating a new character. That's the good character, right? You've got to go down
He-
that
he
path
loves
if
getting
you
the
want to
stick.
save yourself. And
All
this
right.
is something that I find incredibly credible, because this was information that was filtered to me by sources that are probably coming from within Korea. And trust and believe that my information, every time I've gotten something, it's because people are thinking about it. And they are thinking, this is possible. We could
Well, I mean,
do
his
this.
next
Should we
court
do
trial is
this?
what, the
Right?
25th?
And if
So
he chooses that path to go out there and harass that
yeah,
statue
that's all I'm
again,
waiting for.
and to
I'm just
commit an
waiting
act
for
on that
that.
statue,
Dude, I'm just
it
waiting
is
for that
not
one.
going to be good. It's going to
That's
be
gonna be
very,
juicy.
very, very, very bad. So we'll see whether or not he does that. Now, cabbage merch is coming, guys. So I just want to let that know at the end of this. A little bit of fun fact, a fun part about the end. But beyond that, I'm going to be covering the trial as it develops. Obviously, if there's any other big legal developments, I'll be on those. We will do a little bit of prep for the Somali trial at least a week or so before that in October, but we'll see what happens here today. I want you to know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Johnny Somali will go out and will do this, or do you think he's going to stay quiet? Do you think he's going to hide?
I mean, if he knows what's good for him, he probably should.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Slap. I mean, if he knows what's good for him, he probably he shouldn't do it. Because it's already bad enough, right? He's already facing a whole bunch of accounts. Right, he's facing some pretty heavy ones too. And then if he does if he does another one, right, it's only going to be enhanced, right? Because they already view him as a problem, right? And then if he does this again, well, it's gonna be enhanced, right? So it's like, hey man, if you want to play with fire, go for it. If you want to stick your hand in the fire, and just to do that, I mean, go for it. That's on you. Oh, yeah, there you go, Johnny, Mr. Ramsey Khalid Ismail, going in the paint with wanting to go in deep with the government, and loves getting pegged by the government. I guess, I don't know, man. I guess he has this like weird humiliation fetish with the government or something. So he does whatever he can to fight the government. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, there you have it. Johnny Somali by Legal Mindset. If you want to check out Legal Mindset, like he said, he's gonna be covering it, or he's covering the trial, and he's gonna do some like pre-cover trial stuff. So yeah, there you have it.